I hope like you've been already acquainted with how we start. So first we will start with Mangala Charan. You can keep your mic muted but chant with me. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिहं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्विदां तं सजीवं सात्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्विदांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरूपेश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाये तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तत्भक्ताय नमो नमः हरि ओम तत्सत् we'll just have for a few minutes. Let's have a recap of what you learned in chapter first, second, and third. Anyone wish to say, Mataji's, like maybe one or two points what you understood from the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita? Nobody wants to share.
Initially, Hare Krishna Mataji, initially the first chapter speaks about how our Arjun feels totally, I mean, discomfortable to, I mean, uncomfortable to interact with all his relatives. So he is in a state of confusion. Almost he drops his
Gandiva.
Gandiva also. And
Yes.
that position, and then they also come to the middle of the
Battle.
warfare,
Yeah.
so that he can see, and he sees them, all the relatives, and more he gets more uncomfortable about
Confused. Yes,
attacking
he's
them.
confused. If he
He is
has to
confused,
fight Arjuna Vishada Yoga.
because
Yes,
he is having
perfect
that
match.
blood relation with all those people and all those things he was having. And then I think after that only they start that we should do our duty and not think about, wow, I mean, for the sake of dharma we have to fight, and not
Yes.
not consider about any relatives. Even if they are our close relatives, we have to stand for dharma.
Yeah. So the first chapter deals with Arjuna Vishada Yoga, where Arjuna is confused about his duty, like most of us in our daily life. Yeah. We don't know which side to follow. Are we doing the right thing? And then the second chapter, Krishna makes him understand that it is, it's your duty to fight by explaining so many things like about Shankya Yoga. He explains about Shankya Yoga, what is Karma Kanta, then what is Nishkama Karma Yoga, and how a Sthita Prajna will be there. Everything is explained by Krishna to Arjuna. But again, Arjuna, like most of us, is confused. So he is confusing between the Buddhi Yoga as retirement from active life. So he is not understanding what he has to do. Should I follow this? Should I follow this? Then again, Krishna is explaining how Nishkama Karma Yoga is very important. And then he lastly says how the lust is the cause of material existence here. And towards the end of chapter 3, you would have learned yesterday that with spiritual intelligence that lust has to be curbed. Yes. So now in the fourth chapter, Krishna will be giving that transcendental knowledge to Arjuna, by which his attachment to his work or lust will be curbed. Not only for Arjuna, Arjuna is a Nitya Bhakta of Krishna, where he is present with him throughout all the Leela. But Arjuna is put into that situation so that we can get the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So Arjuna is not confused about his duty, or he is not thinking which is good, which is bad. If Krishna tells something, he is going to follow it. But only for us to get this knowledge, Arjuna is put into that situation. So this fourth chapter has almost 42 shlokas, and then it is divided into 5 sections for ease of understanding. The first section we are going to deal with is what about, now in this section Krishna initially tells who he is to Arjuna, indirectly to all of us. Okay, so the first sloka is Krishna telling Arjuna that before 120 plus million years ago, Lord Krishna is the first person to give this knowledge to Vivaswan, the sun god, and Vivaswan gave that to Manu, and Manu gave to his son Ikshvaku. Now, what happens, like with any other practice, when it is being practiced for a long time, it gets changed, or people forget it, or there is confusion on how to do it. So that time came where Krishna came by himself to this material world to give back this knowledge again to Arjuna, that is 5,000 years ago. Okay, and the qualification of a person who can receive this knowledge is given. Like if it is given to like Hiranyakashipu, like demons like him, definitely he will not understand. Correct? So what is the qualification to receive this knowledge is given in the third verse, where it says he should be a devotee of Krishna or a friend of Krishna. Only those people who can accept Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead is given this knowledge. And this knowledge is not given to everybody. It is mainly given to rishis, kings. Why? Because they are the people who can lead the general mass of people. So they should be aware of this knowledge so that the entire common people follow it, and then they can benefit out of it. What benefit? They can get the love of Godhead. Okay. Now in the verse 4 and 5, say obviously Arjuna is supposed to have that doubt. Arjuna should, he is asking, like, I'm calling you Madhava, Keshava, you're with me. Okay, I'm thinking you're my relative, you're my friend, but you're telling that you gave this knowledge to Vivaswan? How is that possible? Arjuna is not doubting Krishna, but just to clear our doubts, Arjuna is asking this question. And at this time, Krishna reveals who he is. He is the super soul. He is the supreme personality of the Godhead. But he appeared as the son of Devaki just for the purpose of bringing the dharma back. He is explaining that to him and telling Arjuna, we were together. So many births we were together, but you forgot everything, but I remember everything. Imagine, Lord Krishna gave us the knowledge of our past. Will we be normal? Because thinking about future itself, we are, so much stressed, worried, we don't sleep, we are into depression, we are taking antidepressants. Imagine if Lord gives us the past knowledge of people also. Each one we see, we will think, this person, this did to me. So this birth, I will take the revenge. That will be very difficult. That's why Krishna hid the past completely from us. Then in verse 6, he explains about his nature. What is his nature? He is unborn. He is Aja. How is that possible? Krishna appeared to Devaki, right? Yeah, we all read Krishna book or Bhagavatam. We will understand that Krishna appeared for Devaki. He did not take birth. He took birth as a four-handed form. He appeared as a four-handed form, and when Devaki Mata was very scared, what did he do? He changed himself as a two-handed form. Is that true? Yeah. So he is unborn. He doesn't appear like us. He take birth like us. He appears. There is a difference between taking birth and appearance. The Lord appear according to his own will. Whenever dharma is disarranged or it is not proper, then the Lord appears. Like you can take this example of a sun. Sun is there in the morning, right? But in the evening, sun is not there. It gets hidden. By the night, there is no sun at all. Does that mean that the sun is not there? No. The sun just changes the horizon. Like that, the Lord appears and the Lord disappears according to his own will. And also, his body is not like us, material body, which is made of Panchabhuta. It is transcendental. It is completely transcendental. And at the time of Mahabharata, Krishna's age was 120. But if you look at him, yeah, he looks Navayavvanam cha. He's always like a 16-year-old boy. Have you ever seen a picture of Krishna with white hair, with white beard, something like that? We have never seen because he is always Navayavvanam. But he is the Adyam Purana Purusha because before him there was nobody else. Yes, after him every one of us came. So he is the oldest person in the entire creation, but still he appears young. Now he is telling about his nature. Now, to see the difference between Krishna and us, we are also Satchitanand Rupa. Our soul is Satchitanand, but the body is material body which is acquired by our karma. But for Krishna, it is his own body. He is Achyuta. He doesn't forget anything. His body is transcendental. There is no difference between the body and the self. Okay. Now we'll go to verse 7. Thanks to the Star television, right? All this shloka, everybody know. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanar bhavati bharata abhyuthana madharmasya tadatmanam shrijamyaham. So he manifests himself. When does he come? He comes when there is a predominance of irreligiosity. So he to get back the dharma onto his track, Lord Krishna appears. There is also another reason why he appears. Now, there is a small information that we have to know that we are actually a blessed generation. Why? Because we are in the time where Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in the Swayam Rupa. So we are very, very lucky. Okay, because this time Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they came. Every time they don't come. It is in the 28th cycle of the 7th Manu, Vaivasvata Manu, they come together and we are very lucky, and that is why we have to take the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra very seriously, because the Lord himself came and gave us this Mahamantra. Now in the verse 8, Krishna clearly explains the purpose of his appearance. Why he is coming? Is he coming to kill? Yeah, is he coming to kill the demons? No, he is mainly coming. The prime purpose of his avatara or appearance is because he wants to satisfy his devotees, the devotees who trust only him, who have faith only him, unalloyed. What is unalloyed? There is no combination of metals in that. There is only one faith. They vivasayatmika bhuttir. They are totally focused only on to Krishna, and to give them pleasure, Lord Krishna comes from the eternal spiritual world to this material world. Annihilating miscreants, anybody can do. His Sudarshan Chakra can finish it off. Not only Sudarshan Chakra, he can give powers. Shakti Avesha Vardar. Yeah, Parashuram came. He annihilated so many Kshatriyas. Some human can be given a different power and he can annihilate all the miscreants. But that is not the primary purpose of Krishna's appearance. He comes here just to give pleasure to his devotees, to deliver the sadhus, and to re-establish dharma. Now, okay, We are understanding the Lord's birth. We are understanding the Lord's activities, Leela. Now, for example, Damodar month just completed. We know about Damodar Leela. Now, any parent, if you ask, they will tell, okay, my son is also very naughty like Krishna only. So, when we know only the Leela, we will think that even our son is like that. But Leela is not important. Knowing about the philosophy behind it. That's why Krishna is giving all the details of his birth, why he is coming, when he comes, every millennium he comes, everything is given. Okay, after knowing it, what will happen? If an ordinary child, Leela, are we getting benefited out of it? No. But when we know about the Lord's appearance and the pastimes, what happens? We will reach the Lord's abode. We will never even come back to this material world. All of us know how difficult this material world is, right? And do we want to stay here every time? No, we don't want to. We want to go to the spiritual world. But if we know all these leelas, we understand the Lord's birth, we understand who He is, what relationship we have with the Lord, then it's very easy. We never come down into this material world. Later in Bhagavad Gita, you will see that Arjuna asking this question: which is easier, taking the impersonal path, like most of us in the Zoom call is having impersonalism, everybody has off the video, Prabhupada is against this impersonalism. We all want a personal relationship with the Lord. So taking impersonalism is easier or personalism is easier? That time Krishna says impersonalism path is very difficult. We have to master it. We have to take many birth to reach that level. And even after reaching that level, what happens? There is always a risk of fall down. The analogy given is, there is a beautiful honey bottle, you can open it, you can taste it nicely with a spoon, but what these impersonalists do, they just taste the outside, they just lick the outside of the bottle to get the flavor of honey, which is not complete. Okay, Mataji's, Prabhuji's, I believe I'm going at the correct pace. You're able to follow. Is that okay?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
Very
Mataji.
good.
Mataji.
Now the next verse. Yes.
Can you just slideshow? We can
Ha,
see, in that
Mataji.
case, we
I
can
was
see the
about to
full
say.
screen.
Yeah, can you enlarge your screen, Mataji?
Yeah, okay. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't
thank
know
you so
it
much,
was
Mataji.
Haribol. So now Krishna goes to the next level. This is the last shloka of that first section where he is giving the solution, taking the level to the higher level where he says, nothing you do, just take complete shelter of me. It is easy said than done, Matajis, I will tell you. And then he's telling, take a proper guidance from a spiritual master, follow all the regulative principles, then it is very easy to achieve the Lord. Now, sometimes what happens when spirituality comes in, see, it's very easy to tell, take shelter of the Lord, take shelter of the Lord, think about the Lord, man mana mahabbat bhakto, think about me, always do service for me. Yes, it is very easy. But as a materialist, most of us, we find it very difficult. Krishna himself said, we the raga, bhaya, krodha, all these are hindrance for our spiritual life. Now, what is raga? The strongest material attachment to our family, attachment to our job, attachment to whatever it is. We live in a 2 bedroom house, we think, why don't I shift to a 4 bedroom house? It's better, right? So this strong material attachment, what happens is you don't have time for spiritual life. You're always busy. Call them for a Bhagavad Gita class, they will say they are busy, Mataji. We are very busy, Mataji. No time at all for us. Then the next category is bhaya, fear. Because see, they are more materially engrossed that what happens is they fear of having a separate identity than themselves. They think that, okay, after death, I just go join with the Lord. I'm very happy with it. like the water and the bubbles in the ocean, right? They all join together to the ocean. They are very happy in being like that rather than having a separate identity. The next is Krodha. Why Krodha comes in? Because they think they're confused. There are so many speculation. They keep on, because they don't surrender to a specific bona fide spiritual master. They go here, somebody tells this is good, they go there, then they go somewhere else, they learn about some other feature of the Supreme Lord. They get confused. They speculate a lot and they don't know what to do. At last, what they do, they take up to intoxication, and they think whatever they see as hallucinations are spiritual visions. They accept that as spiritual vision. But Prabhupada gave us a simple way. Just surrender unto a bona fide guru, a spiritual master who is from Krishna, and then follow all the regulative principles. See, it's very easy. Now, understanding this step, this 9 steps of devotional service is very, very important, because first you should have faith. Even towards the end of this chapter, Krishna says how without this faith, you will not be successful even in this birth, also in the next birth. So having faith in the words of the spiritual master, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, first we have faith. Once we understand, okay, this is the path that we have to follow, then we go into the next path where there is Sadhu Sangha. Like we associate like this, discuss Shastras, yes. Then the next level is Bhajana Kriya. This is not like a ladder, huh? Like, okay, first faith comes in, then association, then Bhajana Kriya. No. This expands. As you have faith, your Sadhu Sangha increases. Then Bhajana Kriya increases. Again, the faith increases more. Then you increase the association with devotees. Like that, this is not a step, but it keeps on increasing. Once you start involving yourselves in devotional service, all your anarthas get reduced, because we don't have time, Mataji. It's very simple. Prabhupada has given a very strict schedule. With that, you cannot even think about any other sinful activities. Then slowly the steadiness comes in, Nishtha comes in, how we have to follow our devotional service. Once that steadiness comes in, nobody will force you. You get the taste to chant, you get the taste to read scriptures, and then next attachment develops, then bhava and prema. So these are the 9 steps of bhakti that we would be following. Now, end of the first section, we knew about who Krishna is, why he comes, and the main purpose of his appearance. Now, the second section that is we are going to deal with, how we will apply our transcendental knowledge to work. Now, Krishna says, he's very particular. Ye yadamam prapatyante tams tadaiva bhajamyaham. However, each person surrenders unto me, according to that I will reward them. Now, why Krishna has to do that? Everybody is his son or daughter, right? Then why he has to do that? Because we will not be able to accept directly. Now, imagine a child is born. Can you leave him directly in 12th grade? That's not possible. You cannot even put him in the first grade directly. First, you have to teach how to eat, how to walk, how to stand, how to run. Then slowly you will put him in the school. They will teach him what is A, B. Then only he can be promoted to that level. So each one of us are in a different level of spiritual realization. Based on that, he is not neglecting any one of us. He's not telling, see, only surrender to me. That is the only option. No, each one of us are different, and he gives each path. He's very merciful. Lord is very merciful that he gives us different path for us to realize him. There is a beautiful shloka in Bhagavatam which says, Akamo sarva kamo va moksha kamo udarate. That is, you have no desires in your life. It's okay, surrender unto him. You have lot of desires. It's okay. When you have desires also, you surrender unto him, because he is going to purify your desires. Or you want only moksha. It's okay, surrender unto him. Even for such people, he rewards accordingly. Is that okay? And then slowly and gradually we will reach to the level of Krishna consciousness. Then the next verse tells about, see, people are, they want only rewards. Okay, I will do this puja. What reward will I get? For example, even for Damodar Puja, love for the Lord comes the second. Whenever we go for preaching, we first say, all your sins will be getting reduced. This is for materialistic people. I'm not talking about devotees like you. For materialistic people, they do some puja. What is the benefit out of it? So that is why they lately come to Lord Krishna. I am from Kerala, okay? So in Kerala, people are very scared to go to worship the Lord Krishna. Why? Because they are scared that because whatever is there, he will remove everything from us. So let's not pray Krishna, because they are mad against the material things. That is why, to get quick results, see, anybody can give us anything. I think you know the example of Bhashmasura, right? He got the varam from Shiva, it's Lord Shiva itself, and then he tested Lord Shiva. Like that, people wanted to easily satisfy senses even in the devotional thing. So they run towards the demigods to get quick results. Krishna is not like that. Because if you take the example of Dhruva Maharaj wanted a big kingdom than his grandfather. Yes, he said, because he was very angry with his father and his stepmother. So his prayer was to get a bigger kingdom than his grandfather. But once he saw the Lord, Varamna Yache, I don't want anything. I was going behind some, stones, but you're there for me. That is how Krishna purifies all our material desires. People who want immediate success, quick results. Okay, I want now. Sura, now, I want everything. Then they run towards the demigods. But we have to understand the difference between demigods and Lord Krishna. Demigod's position is just like that of a host. Okay, they be there until that universe dissolves, and then they take up another birth because they have done a lot of pious activities that they have been given the position of a demigod. They are subjected to the modes of material nature, not like Krishna. Krishna is a supreme creator. He is independent. Maya cannot touch him. Maya is under his control. That is why we happen to see Brahma Vimohan Leela, Govardhan Leela, because these demigods, they get bewildered. And the disadvantages of being in higher planetary system is you get happy, settled. See, for example, you're in a house for a long time. You get convenient with the place, the transportation is good, the supermarket is nearby. We are very happy. Even if somebody wants us to change the house, we find really bewildered, right? Like that, the demigod's position is very dangerous because they are very happy. They have given all the resources. That one point of time, they forget Krishna. So that is the main disadvantages of accumulating pious activities. Okay, so these demigods are none other than they are the administrative position for Lord Krishna. Like in a company, how we have different finance is there, PR is there, HR is there, and then workers are there. Like that, each department is given a head in the name of demigods. Now in verse 13, Krishna explains how he created the Varnashrama Dharma. Now because we are trying to understand the work by Jnana. That is why Krishna is talking about Varnashrama Dharma here. Varnashrama Dharma is not caste system. Like, okay, you're untouchable, don't come to me, stay away from me. That's not caste system. Based on your guna and karma, you've been divided into categories like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Why? Because this will help the human beings to elevate from animal life. Otherwise, you know what we will be doing? We will eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Ahara, Nitra, Bhaya, Maituransha. That's it. Only that we will be doing. So the Varnashrama Dharma is brought in so that we do work according to our guna and karma. And slowly what happens, because people are not purified enough to approach the Lord directly, so we are given a varnashrama dharma so that we get slowly purified and then we can directly approach Lord Krishna. But beyond this 4 varnas is the Vaishnava, because they know who is the absolute truth or the Satyam Param Dhimahi. Who is that? They know who is Lord Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they have complete knowledge about all his expansions, avatars, everything. That is why the Vaishnavas are better than Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Sudras. In verse 14, Krishna says that even though he creates the Varnashrama Dharma, he is not bound by it. He is not bound by any activity that is happening in this material world. Like for example, rain is there. The rain comes in, yes, and it falls in every place. In the ocean it falls, in river it falls, in vegetation it falls. So the rain is the main cause for all the vegetation. Yes, without rain there is no vegetation. But we cannot tell that okay, the different it falls in the river, it falls in the ocean. No, whatever, wherever it flows, it will give the vegetation, correct? And like that, Krishna is like in a chain. Like you can see there are a lot of beads. The thread is missing. But when you remove the beads, you will see the thread. Like that, Krishna is present in this material world, but he is aloof from all the actions. He just creates a Varnashrama Dharma, but he is not bound by all the reactions. In verse 15, Krishna says how many people took to Krishna consciousness and they were purified and they were successful in their life. They perform this, all this where, Krishna is trying to bring Arjuna, as a Kshatriya, it is your duty to fight. Don't run away from this duty. Even if you think, because Krishna was telling in the first chapter that I want to retire from everything, I want to go in the forest, I will peacefully follow Krishna consciousness. So Krishna is trying to make Arjuna understand that, okay, just by having Markada Vairagya, just running away from responsibilities, you are not going to be successful, Arjuna. You have to follow in the steps of great acharyas, devotees, because there are people who followed according to the bona fide spiritual master and they got successful. That is why, Arjuna, you have to be an example. I think in 3rd chapter also you would have seen it. Set an example, because whatever great men do, the common men follow. So you have to fight. That is where Krishna is bringing Arjuna into. Okay. Until now, is it clear? Am I going fast? We are going into the next 3rd section. Yes, Mataji?
Everything is in Mataji. Space is correct.
I think I couldn't hear you well, Mataji, and I don't know who is talking also.
Mataji, I think someone got unmuted by mistake.
Okay. So the next section, we are going to understand karma on the platform of jnana or knowledge. So here we are going to understand what is karma, what is vikarma, what is akarma, and by doing all this, what will happen? The result of doing all this, okay? And how a person situated in knowledge will behave, okay? So this section, Krishna is going to explain about akarma. So what is karma? Karma is something that we do, okay, and bind us into this material world as per Shastras only. But what we do is we follow with attachment. So it binds us again and again and again into this material world. Vikarma is, they are not supposed to be done. Okay, and this will cause sinful reaction to us. Whereas akarma is, what is akarma? It will never incur any sin to us. Like for Arjuna, Krishna is asking him to fight. See, Arjuna did not whimsically take the weapon and then go and fight with the Kauravas. Krishna is giving instruction. Come on, Arjuna, go and fight. Fight for the dharma. That is why Krishna is telling Arjuna here indirectly, see, you are doing on my request, so you will not incur any karma out of fighting here. How is that possible? Because like in the previous section, we were saying that we are supposed to follow the parampara. The actions that are under the directions of a parampara will not give us any sin. As per Shastras, one should accept whatever progressive path the Mahajans advocate. So these Mahajans, there are 12 Mahajans. They are Lord Brahma, Narada Muni, Shiva, Kumaras, Lord Kapila, Manu, Prahalada, Janaka, Bhishma, Bali Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami and Yamaraja. They all followed Krishna consciousness and they were all successful. Yes, they did not have any tinge of material propensity in them, and they were fortunate and they returned back to Godhead. So once we follow the Shastras, Guru, Sadhu and Shastras, success is guaranteed. Okay. Now we all know that, right? The intricacies of karma. We don't know why we are suffering in this material world. Why we got this birth. Every one of us would have thought, right? Why did I come to this material world? I was very happy in the spiritual world, right? We don't remember, but yes, the Shastra says that we were very happy with Krishna, enjoying. Yeah, imagine you go to a kalpavriksha tree and you say, see, I'm very hungry, can I have paratha? Yes, you get paratha, you eat happily. Then Krishna is there, you enjoy with him, you talk with him, play with him. There is nothing we have to be bothered about, but it was our karma and it was our desire that we wanted to enjoy separately from Krishna, and that's why we came into this material world and we are suffering. So all of us would have understood why we are suffering. At that time we get one answer, say that's the karma. You bought it with you when you came down. So this intricacy is very, very, very difficult to understand, and even great authorities, they find it very difficult to understand. But it can all be nullified by devotional service. Easily it can be nullified. The same thing is explained in verse 18, where karma, vikarma, karma, everything is given. So here two different concepts are explained. Inaction and action. What is inaction and action is a karma, where we do action, that is for the pleasure of the Lord. When we do some actions, then there is no karma binding coming out of there. There is no karma bandhana. We are free because we are acting only for the pleasure of the Lord and not for the sense gratification. Whereas there are some people who think action in inaction. They think by renouncing everything, I can go sit in the forest, I can, that doesn't come under a karma, because somehow or the other, for your eating, you're going to kill something, or for living, you have to clear some space, you have to build a house, there you're disturbing many living entities. So even that will incur karma for us. Each thing that we do in this material world, it gives us karma bandhana. But if we do it for the pleasure of the Lord, that karma cycle is broken. And then last, Krishna says, what you have to do, by understanding this transcendental knowledge, you have to work accordingly to it. So when you act in Krishna consciousness, what happens? That fire of knowledge, it burns completely the reactions of your work. Now we can see about a person who works in transcendence, how he behaves. So I'm taking a slide. You want it full, no, Mataji? 1 minute. In this slide, we will see that a person who is working in a karma section, how he will behave. It's very easy to tell, but these things, it comes with practice, Matajis. It comes with practice. Slowly, as we practice, we come to this stage. And that is what Prabhupada also wants us. It is not that one day immediately you leave everything and then be in Krishna consciousness. No, you be with your family, but then how you can become a sadhaka, a siddha, everything is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Now, the main characteristic of a person who do a karmic or in Krishna consciousness is, we know that, right? There is no sense gratification because we are going to work for the pleasure of the Lord. And we are not worried about the result. My duty is to work for the pleasure of the Lord. Even for Arjuna, the same thing he said, fight on the battlefield. If you win, Krishna did not promise that you will win the war. He said, if you're winning, then you get the kingdom. Now, if you lose also, as a Kshatriya, if you die in a battlefield, you're elevated to a higher planetary system. So, for either you lose or gain, you're going to get benefited out of it. So don't think about winning, losing. Just do your duty. So that person who is doing akarmic activities, he's always satisfied because he's not working for his pleasure. He's working for the Lord's pleasure. So if the Lord is happy, he is also happy. Then comes the stage of a siddha, where you have self-control, where your mind and intelligence both are controlled. Imagine, Mataji's, for me, at least for me, my intelligence will say it is Brahma Muhurta, come on, start chanting. But my mind will say, no. It is, it is time to sleep. You can sleep another 15 minutes. But a Siddha, his mind is fully controlled. His desires only very bare minimal. If you see Bhagavatam, it says, don't get worried about this and then don't stop coming from tomorrow's class, because it is Bhagavatam, it is talking about Mahabhagavatas, not for us. But yes, we can try to develop that characteristic. So Bhagavatam says, you have your hand, right, to eat. Why do you need plates? So many different plates to eat. A hand is enough. Yes, you have earth to sleep. Then why do you need a bed, cot, all this? There is barks of trees. Yes, leaves are there. You can dress yourself. Why do you have to dress opulently? This is not possible in the material world, but that is how our desires should be. It should be the bare minimum. To keep our body and soul together, whatever is necessary, we should try only for that, and we should not over and over. Like I said before, you have a car. It doesn't mean that you have to have only BMW or Porsche. The purpose is you have to travel comfortably. For that, you should have a vehicle. That is how you should be. And then even in the second chapter, we saw Tam Tidikshasva Bharata. So even if there is success or failure in your attempt, even in Krishna consciousness, one day you will be able to chant 16 rounds. Yes, one day maybe only 8 rounds, 4 rounds, maybe you're busy with so many work. It is okay. Don't get upset. Try until you succeed. Cry like a baby so that you can reach Krishna. That is how a Krishna conscious devotee will be. And then slowly, what happens when he perfects all this self-control, he is free from envy, and then he is in a normal stage. Then he come to a stage where whatever work he do, there is no reaction for it. He is completely at peace, because when we don't envy others, when we don't compare others, we are from duality. What happens is we automatically become peaceful. That is the stage that Krishna wants us to attain. Now, the fourth section, last but before section, that deals with the different yagnas that will lead to transcendental knowledge. These are all for purificatory process. That's it. Why do we do all these sacrifices? Simple. The main concept is how to control the senses. Slowly, when we control the senses, we don't incur sin. And because we don't incur sin, then we are happy. Then slowly we come to the stage of Brahman realization, and with slowly and steadily we reach to the devotional service of the Lord. Already I told you why there are different types of ways, because each of us are in different category, different consciousness, different position. So to bring all of us to that devotional stage may be little difficult. That's why each one of us have a particular karma to do. And in verse 25, I think we already saw this, right? Demigod worshippers. What happens is when they say, okay, you worship this demigod, you will get this benefit, they will run there. When there is some other demigod offering some other thing, they want quick results. So they keep on running to people, to God, each time whenever they want something. They are Bhagu Ishwaravadi. They believe in, they don't have Vivasayatmika Buddhir. Their faith is not strong onto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then the verse 26, it talks about brahmacharis and grahasthas. Now, Vanaprastha Sannyasi, that's a different category, Mataji's Prabhuji's, because they are always into the devotional service of the Lord. Now, the brahmacharis, the first 25 years of your life, you are made to stay in a bona fide spiritual master's house. Now it is not possible, but in the previous years, it was possible, where they were in a Gurukul. They were asked how to control the mind. They were away from sense gratification. They were doing only devotional service to the Lord, yes. And they were learning from the Guru. Tadviti pranibadena pariprashnena sevaya. So they were doing all service to the Guru, and slowly they were gaining knowledge. How that is possible? Shravanam. They were listening to the Guru. They were serving the Guru with faith, and slowly the knowledge was transferred. Now, when these brahmacharis, when they feel that, they cannot control their senses, at that time they were given in marriage to grahasthas. So this grahasthas, they have a license for sense gratificatory actions, okay? And slowly and steadily they will reach a stage. Now, if you have read Bhagavatam, you will see Kardama Muni, how slowly, after 50 years, he slowly left his home and he went to Vanaprastha. That is how in the yesterday years people were behaving. But now it is not possible. So it is better that we take up to Krishna consciousness, which is easy, which is a sublime method. Now this sacrifice by the yogis, it's very difficult, Matajis. Even I couldn't understand many things in this. It is like bringing all the prana and vayu so that you are away from the sense gratificatory system, which is very difficult, especially for a person like me. I don't know others how it is, but to bring all the prana vayu into control, and then controlling the senses, controlling the mind, everything is very difficult as such as, but yogis, it is possible. They were doing it also, where there are 10 different types of prana. Main prana and upaprana. Prana, udana, samana, vayana, apana, and upaprana is naga, kurma, krikala, devadatta, dhananjaya. This dhananjaya upaprana, this will stay active even when you're dead and the body is supposed to be decomposing. So bringing all this together in one line, in one chakra, and then controlling your senses, I really find it very difficult. It is better that we follow what Srila Prabhupada gave us, a very simple, sublime method of doing devotional service to the Lord, which becomes very easy. Now there are some other people who follow different yagna. One is Dravamaya yagna. You would have seen, right? Many people building hospitals, old age homes, Anadha Alaya, giving food, education, medical treatment free. They sacrifice their belongings or possessions for that. Then Tabomaya Yajna. What is that? they take voluntarily austerities like Chadurmasya. They don't shave, they eat one time a day. This is to promote to higher planetary system. Now, yoga yajna. Yoga is, we have seen Patanjali, Ashtanga Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Pranayama. They do all this to to merge with the absolute. That also they are doing. Then Swadhyaya. People read lot of literatures. They know Vedic literatures, Upanishads, Vedanta, Sankhya philosophy, everything. These are also a type of yajna. Then the next yajna that Krishna explains is pranayama. The pranayama is controlling the breathing process. Okay, so this breathing process, why do they control? Because as we are born, the number of life breath is noted down. By doing this pranayama, you can control the number of breath that you take so that you increase your lifetime, and by increasing your lifetime you have time to perfect your spiritual realization. But we devotees, we need not worry. As long as we are alive in this material world, we serve the Lord. When we die also, we go to the spiritual world and we serve the Lord. So why do we have to take all this different Hatha Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Pranayama? That is all not needed for this, because we know that after death, we can be in the Krishna Loka and we can serve the Lord. And this is the 8 steps of Ashtanga Yoga. Yama, which we have to restrain. Niyama, which we have to follow. Asana, how do you have to sit? Where do you have to sit? How the place will be. Then pranayama, controlling the vital force, that is prana, apana, samana. Pratyahara is withdrawal of all the senses. Main motive of doing all this is to control our senses. Then dharana, where we concentratedly meditate on one form of the Lord. And at this time, when you meet a real guru who can take you to Bhakti Yoga, now you start the cycle from the first. Shraddha, Adau Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya. Otherwise, again, you go to that stage, there's a different stages, Mataji. But if, just remember that after dhyana, if you get a proper guru in Bhakti Yoga, then you start your Krishna consciousness. So why do we have to take up all this challenge? Just take up directly Krishna consciousness, which is very easy. Then what is the main purpose? I think that we discussed already, that to control senses, we should not have, we should not follow anything just to satisfy our senses. The main senses, the main purpose of doing any sacrifice or any work is to please the Lord. Now in verse 31, Krishna says that these are very essential. These sacrifices are very essential for us to be happy in this world and also in the next world, because slowly we get elevated to the level of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, punarabi jananam, punarabi maranam, punarabi janane jatare shayanam. We just continue this loop of sinful life, then reaction, then material existence, then ignorance. This human form of life will keep on continuing. So if we have to escape from this cycle, yes, we have to do such sacrifices. Then in 32, he just says that doing all the sacrifices is for what? As I said, to understand the complete knowledge and then to get released from this material existence. Because see, once you do all your activity, one point of time comes in where you understand whatever I do, I'm not happy. The same thing existed when Prabhupada went from here to the Western country. They had everything with them, but they were not satisfied because we are not related to our Supreme Lord, and that's why we are not satisfied. So automatically we had to take up devotional service. Now for the last section, Mataji, am I running out of time? Aishwarya Mataji?
Mataji, yes, Mataji. The next section will start at 12, but we can take 5 minutes, Mataji.
5 minutes, okay. Because this is very small section only where the glories of the transcendental knowledge is given. So it is just an overlap. So this we already know. 34th verse is clearly said how we can get this knowledge. Very simple. Don't go to any Tom, Dick and Gary. Go to a bona fide spiritual master. Surrender unto him. Inquire from him submissively. What you should not just blindly follow them also. You may have doubts. There is no problem. But surrender unto him and ask questions submissively, realize the absolute truth, and then follow that path. So by submissively hearing from him, by serving him, you will get the entire knowledge. There are 4 sampradayas, which is the bona fide sampradaya: Brahma sampradaya, Lakshmi, Rudra, and Kumara. If you follow this 4, definitely you will be reaching the Lord. Okay, and ISKCON follows the Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. Okay, now by understanding this knowledge, it is very easy because we know that we are an individual soul. We got this knowledge, transcendental knowledge. So we know we are this individual soul. We know who is the Supreme Lord is. He is the super soul. And what is the relation between the super soul and us? We are the eternal servitor of Krishna. When we understand who is a soul, who is a super soul, what is Prakriti, what is the relationship between, what is karma, what is kala, these are the 5 things that are explained in Bhagavad Gita even. So when you understand that, you are away from Maya. Otherwise, you again get into this entanglement. Now, because of understanding this knowledge, it's very easy for us to cross this material ocean. This material life is compared to a samsara sagara, right? It is an ocean. So Lord has given us the body to cross this over. That is the boat. Okay, the boat is the material body, and we need a person to ride the boat. So the guru is the right person to ride the boat, and the favorable wind is the mercy of the Lord. So when we get this transcendental knowledge, we can easily cross over this ocean of misery. The material world is again compared to a forest fire. So what is a forest fire? Forest fire can be extinguished only by rain, not by fire service. So that rain is the mercy of the Lord. Now, what happens by understanding all this knowledge is, like when you fry a seed, they don't grow up. Like that, all our sins get burned by this knowledge. The knowledge that you're gaining now, sitting for 1 hour, okay, and listening to Bhagavad Gita, that knowledge actually burns out all your sinful reactions, and because of that it is very easy to approach the Lord. Otherwise it becomes difficult, because when we have lot of sins, we cannot approach the Lord directly. Now, who can acquire this transcendental knowledge? We saw that in the 3rd shloka itself, right? In the 3rd verse itself, Krishna said, first thing is, you're my friend, you're my devotee. A faithful person with dedication and self-control can understand this knowledge very easily. Others will always have doubt. And for that people, what will happen? By having too much of doubt, too much of confusion, they don't have faith, they will never get cleared of their doubts, and then they will keep on repeating this material life again and again and again and again, because they are not faithful. Again, they don't clear the doubts also. Even if they doubt, they challenge the person who gives knowledge to them, so they will never understand. Because when you can get the knowledge is when you be humble, when you be submissive, and when you ask questions clearly, then it is easy for us to understand the knowledge. So now Arjuna is getting the knowledge of how to renounce karma by jnana, and also how to attain peace by jnana. The next shloka, Krishna says, now I've given you all the knowledge, okay? Just slash your ignorance by this weapon of knowledge, and now get up and fight. So now Arjuna is confused because he don't know what he has to do. should he renounce the work or should he fight without attachment, with devotion? Because he's talking about how he have to do Krishna conscious work also. Now Arjuna is almost confused, like most of us. Should I renounce or should I work with devotion? Krishna, I really don't know what I have to do. That starts the chapter 5. Okay, Mataji, I'm very sorry. I hope I was going slow because I was 42 shlokas. So I have to rush through. I hope I was clear and it was easy to follow. And thank you, Aishwarya Mataji, for giving me 5 more minutes to complete this.
So, Mataji, thank you so much. Mataji, any questions and doubts will be posted in the group, Mataji, if you can answer them via the group.
Yes, Mataji. Or even tomorrow, there is only 29 shlokas for chapter 5. So if we need to clarify any doubts tomorrow also, that could also be done. No worries.
Great, Mataji, great. We'll do that, Mataji, yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Haribol,
Krishna.
thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so
Thank
much,
you for
Mataji.
this.
Dandatnam, Mataji. Hare.
वाञ्छकल्पतरूपस्य कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रील
Jai.
प्रभुपाद की जय,
Jai.
गुरुदेव की
Hare
जय,
Krishna.
निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि
Hari
हरि
Hari
हरि।
Bol.
हरे कृष्णा माताजी,
Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Mataji. Dhanyosmi.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you
हरे
so much.
कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा।
Mataji, with your permission, I'll end the meeting.